Back to your seats, we will begin our executive programs of the day. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it is such an honor to be here with you on this beautiful Saturday at the Hawaii Annual Code Challenge 2024. First off, let's have a nice round of applause for all the organizers who will help put today's event together. We also have a very special guest in the audience here today. We just saw him walk in a few minutes ago. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a nice round of applause for our distinguished guest, president of the University of Hawaii System, David Lasner. And I also want you folks to give yourselves a round of applause to all of our teams who have been working so hard. Thank you so much for your work and getting to this point. You deserve a round of applause as well. Now, the quick icebreaker, everyone could just stand up for me real quick. Stand up for me. I know some of you may be nervous, may be excited, whatever it may be. Let's just shake out those nerves. Shake out those nerves, right? And now I want you to look to the person to your left and say, good morning. This is someone on the other side and say, how's it going? A team that is not yours or someone you don't know and throw them a shotgun. Say, what's up? How's it going? Look to someone else and say, wow, what did you? Today, hopefully you would have made some new friends, unless it's the person that you just insulted. This friendship of all. Before we start the program, we'd like to go over some friendly reminders. While the teams are presenting, we ask that you limit or eliminate talking, as we want to be respectful of all of our presenters here today. There will also be a break halfway through the presentations, as well as a lunch break. And during that time, we'd like for you to visit our sponsor tables. This event wouldn't be able to happen or take place without our generous sponsors. So can we get one more round of applause for all of our sponsors today? And also the restrooms are located out the doors and down the hall, all the way at the end, right by the staircase. Now here's a look at what's in store. After a few opening remarks, we will begin the competition with the team presentations and announce the winners later in the day. At this time, I would like to introduce Christine Sakura, Chief Information Officer of the State of Hawaii.
Congratulations everyone for being here on our early Saturday morning. I just wanted to go over some facts and figures about the event. We started off with 158 participants this year, a testament after 9 years of the Hawaii Annual Code Challenge. There is still plenty of excitement about this event. You all have made it this far in the HACC. We started off with 41 teams today. There are 18 that made it through the technical challenge and 17 will be presenting today. Thank you. Making it to this final day is quite an accomplishment, and we are very proud of all of you, so good luck. Besides working with your team to come up with an innovative idea for your challenge, I hope you took advantage of the opportunities the HACC has provided to you. We had several exciting workshops that included the importance of cybersecurity and privacy, low code, no code applications, and of course, the traditional way of creating a solution. We hope through this experience, you have enhanced your skills, made some lifelong friends, found people you can collaborate with, and perhaps a future business partner. Thank you all for participating and for making the HACC a success again. Now I'd like to bring up my friend and colleague, Mr. David Lasner, the president of the University of Hawaii, to say a few words. Thank you.
Well, great to see you all this morning. So ninth year, so seems like this thing is gonna stick. This is the second year we're back in person after the pandemic, and the second year we're here at UH West Oahu. I'm really happy to be here when Christine asked me if I would do this. Usually I like to stay home on Saturday morning. But before I was president of UH, I was, my whole career was in IT at UH, in fact. I was there 36 years doing IT work. And I was the first chief information officer for UH and first VP for IT for UH. My successor, Jared Kashimi, is here, who helps a lot with this event. He's doing an amazing job. A lot of stuff better than me. I first, I'm sure you're sick of old people telling you like how it was in the old days with punch cards and all that. I did do my first computer programming with paper tapes, which were before punch cards even. In high school, we shared a little computer with 6 other schools. And when I went to the University of Illinois, where I mostly grew up, I was a graduate student in computer science, working in the computer-based education lab. That's mostly how I worked my way through school, making, we started at $1.80 an hour programming software to teach things. But that's what got me to Hawaii. I was asked to come here for 1 year in 1977 and help you with a specific project, and I never left. So this, both in my prior job in IT, but also as president, I spent a lot of time trying to help the electric commerce sector to diversify our economy. And so that's the other reason, besides personally being connected with the kind of things we're all doing, is I think it's really important for the future of Hawaii. This is a way that we bring together local technology advocates with education providers, with public service providers, trying to modernize state functions, nonprofit functions, to just have a more effective, efficient, and open set of public services that serve the people of all our islands. But it's also here for you. It's intended not just to help you develop your IT skills, but the soft skills that you will need to thrive in any workplace. So communication, collaboration, problem solving, patience, stick-to-itiveness. These are all things that you would not be one of the 17 surviving teams here today if you hadn't all demonstrated it. So congratulations on getting that far. Longer term, we're trying really hard to build out the education pipeline, both in the K-12 schools, but also in our higher education institutions, so that employers here have a great opportunity to hire local graduates from our education systems who want to work and help Hawaii survive. It's better for them when they can hire local, and every employer will tell you that. And it's also better for you if you have the opportunities to get a great job here. We see it in our IT shop. So when I left, we were about 150 people. So it's a pretty large IT shop at the University of Hawaii as well. And we could see the importance of both hiring local, but also hiring people who are well-rounded, not just with technical skills, but also the ability to function as contributing human beings in the workplace, trying to accomplish goals together. So this is where you get to show your initiative here at this HACC. You'll build your resume. Hopefully you have projects you can be proud of and show future prospective employers. And we're also happy to see good ideas for solutions come out. You know, obviously not everything you've done is ready to roll out in public service, but the ideas you may have before of how an actual public service will roll out. So I got a bunch of talking points. I'm going to skip through because I want to get you to get to it. So please enjoy. You know, this is an opportunity I think for most of you. You're going to pitch, maybe for the first time. Don't be nervous. Just share your enthusiasm to the project. You wouldn't be here if you didn't love what you were doing and you weren't committed to the time that you spent. Whatever happens, you will have learned a lot through this process. So I applaud that, and that's maybe the greatest value of this is what each and every one of you will exit here today with that will help you succeed in your future, whether or not you end up in the tech industry or not. These are skills that will help you at home. There is, of course, prize money. That's really good. And who knows, one of you could end up being a future university of Hawaii president. So good luck to all.
And so far. And I want to reiterate, David's comments that it's taking you so much to get to today, and you're really going to all share the art of what's possible, no matter what happens. And so I just want to thank you again for your spirit and your energy that you bring to today. So next up, I'd like to introduce our presenting partner, Garrett Yoshimi, who is the Vice President at the University of Hawaii of IT and the CIO there. Thank you, Garrett.
And let me add, that, you know, you're almost like 3 months on the job, so this year, whole time record. It's always great to see you supporting the HACC event. This is a phenomenal event, 9th year. Let's go for a big 10th year opportunity next year. So I'll add my, someone was asking, help push this along. Absolutely, get a really big shovel to go. Welcome everybody. On behalf of the University of Hawaii, we're happy to be a sponsor. We're just proud to be able to help contribute to the event and make sure that we can keep this sustainable over a long period of time. And it takes a lot of folks, a lot of volunteer folks to make the event work and succeed. And I thank all the volunteers personally for showing up on a Saturday. Great, beautiful campus, but you know, some of us, or some of the folks in the audience probably had some other ideas for Saturday, including maybe sleeping a little later in the morning, but it's okay. It's exciting. It's great to be here. One thing I'll add to David's comments, it is always hard to follow him, by the way. He's very polite and very kind in his compliments, but big shoes to fill and tough act to follow. Do my best. One of the really great things that I wanted to add to the other comments that you heard throughout the day, this is an absolute opportunity for you folks, for the teams that are participating, to get to know yourselves and get to know the sponsors and a bunch of other folks in the audience. This is a workforce event. First and foremost, it is a competition for you to show your stuff and really shine in front of all your peers as well as the global audience, the webcast. But this is an opportunity to continue your evolution, continue your growth, take advantage of it. I will say that as is true for some of the things we've been talking about over the years, we actually hired a couple of people from the previous HACC results. By the way, so keep that up. Lots of opportunities, lots of employers in the house. Do your best, have fun, most important, and good luck. Thank you very much.
Take a couple of minutes to introduce some of our petabyte sponsors. They are the ones to kind of keep the Hawaii Annual Code Challenge going, offering you opportunities, enrichment opportunities of, you know, learning tools, tricks of the trade of how to fully engage in the Hawaii Annual Code Challenge. So next up, I would like to introduce one of our petabyte sponsors, Google for Government. Daniel Liu is the enterprise architect and has been an active sponsor of the Hawaii Annual Code Challenge. So please come up here and say a few words, Daniel. Thank you.
This is my second or third year being a judge here, but I've been involved in HACC since coming here like for 7, 8 years. It is really inspiring to see the next generation that you guys have to create some of those really important solutions for the states. A lot of time thinking about, it is not really about technology. It is really about what you do for your community. The things that you do really matters. So whatever solution they come out with, it is really to help us to solve the issues for matters to our community. So great ideas that come out. As a group, as a sponsor every year, we love to be involved and to help out. This is such an awesome event, and I'm so honored to be here, being a judge, and to really involve in the community, the solution that come out together, and we'll build the future for all life. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next pedagogic sponsor is from Microsoft. So we'd like to thank Microsoft and Rick Joyer, who is the West Region Azure Sales Executive. Please give him a warm welcome of applause. Thank you.
This is my first opportunity to attend the HACC, and I just gotta say, as someone who's been able to attend multiple events like this across the country, this is clearly the best and most well-organized one that I have ever personally seen. And the facilities and the campus here are top notch, and thank you so much to the University of Hawaii for playing host here, to ETS for allowing us to participate. When I think about this event and the goal of innovation, 50 years ago, there was a group of folks who got together in a garage and they founded a company that became known as Microsoft. And we'll have our 50-year anniversary coming up here in 2025. And as you guys think about what you're doing today and the innovation that you got, and again, I'll just underscore the point that was made earlier around just getting to this point is amazing. You all should be thinking to yourselves about the opportunity that's in front of you. I loved hearing David talk about the economic impact and potential that comes from events like this and building a community that's willing to come together and innovate together and come up with creative ideas that will help solve the next wave of challenges. And the future relies upon groups like you all coming together and thinking about what the future can look like and shaping it. So for that, super excited to play a role, and thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of it.
So last but not least is our final petabyte sponsor from Verizon. Thank you for your continued support. I'd like to introduce Erwin, who is the Director of Consumer Sales. Thank you, Erwin, very much.
So proud 5-year sponsor, so we're happy to be here again. Obviously, congratulations to all of you that have made it this far. It's a wonderful accomplishment, and we're excited to see the solutions that you put together to not only help move Hawaii along from a technological standpoint, but obviously that also affects all of us as folks that live in our communities. I also want to take a moment and thank all those that were responsible for putting this together and having this event. Again, 5-year sponsor, because we're excited to be a part of it, and it's so well done. And also whoever decided to do what walk campus. For somebody that lives in Makapilo, this was great on Saturday. Thank you for that. But again, we have something in Verizon when we look at responsibility, and we look at what we need to do for our communities, and make sure that we're good business partners for what we do work and play. And again, this is one of the reasons we're proud to be part of this program is when we look at digital inclusion, which is something that's very important for us. Again, our goal is to make sure that people can be connected and have access to the things that they need. And in this digital technological world and the things that you're doing, obviously that connectivity is probably going to be part of how your tool are going to be able to be utilized by folks out in the community. So that's important to us. And then obviously there's the necessity of making sure that there's human prosperity in all the work that we do. And again, thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey and helping making sure that those things happen for us. So thank you very much.
To all our speakers and for Christine for introducing all of them. Pause for 1 minute.
feel like you should do this before? Oh, well.
Technology even in the blinds, guys, look at that. See, I come from Hawaii, we don't get these fancy kind of stuff, right? I also want to reiterate the message of how important it is to find local talent and to stay here in Hawaii. I'm also a product of the University of Hawaii system. Thank you so much, UH. Go Bulls. I did not graduate in the technology field at all. I got my degree in journalism, but I was lucky and blessed to be able to go to UH, take local internships, and I got a job even before I left college. And I have been working in news for almost 8 years now, at Hawaii News now. And so it's such a blessing to be able to serve the people of this community, the community that we all grow up in and live and love. So we encourage you to think locally and how we can continue to give back to your communities. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you today's judges. You heard from them earlier, but we'd like to reintroduce them. I'd like to round of applause for Christine Sakura, CIO, Office of Enterprise Technology Services. Enterprise Architect, Google for Government. We have here Joiner, West Region Azure Sales Director, Microsoft. And Erwin, I'm going to try your last name. I apologize if I mispronounce it. Erwin Sionko. Thank you all so much for being here today. I'd also like to mention technical judging began on November 11th, and let me introduce you to the 7 individuals who had the difficult task of evaluating your solutions. We thank them for their time and their expertise. Please hold your applause until the very end. Terry Ho, Technology Director, Solutions Strategist, eWorld Enterprise Solutions. Brant Jones, Director, App Innovation for Microsoft, State and Local Government. George Lee, HACC Tech Coordinator. Kevin Lim, CEO and President, Technology Outreach Hawaii. Kylie Mulani, I apologize again, Software Developer, Hawaii Data Collaborative. Stacey Rodriguez, Solutions Architect, AWS. And Jesse Zapola, Senior IT Enterprise Architect for ETS. A nice round of applause for all of them. At this point, we would also like to call up Thelma Elaine, who will be explaining how the scoring will work. Nice round of applause for Thelma.
Two judges. The scoring for technical implementation, functional evaluation, working prototype, innovation and excellence, user experience, security and privacy. Security and privacy was a question on the form you completed, and you got a total of 30, maximum of 30 points from 2 different judges. That was divided by 2, and then that gave you a percentage. Today, what the judges are going to judge you on is your whether or not they feel that they met your requirements, originality and design, utility impact, presentation, and delivery. So that presentation is part, the fact that you're standing up here and giving out information, how you do that is going to be impacting that score. They also have a score of maximum 5 points for each of these categories, both technical and non-technical, and then those total up. So you get 4 judges in this scenario. We total up your score and then we divide that by 80 so that we get a percentage you get. So once we get the percentage of that and the percentage from your technical score, that will tell me who the lucky winners are. I think that's all I have to go over. Yes, back to, oh, sorry, go back one more slide. Sorry. I do want to point out that the presentation is 6 minutes this year, 2 minutes for the presentation, 2 minutes for your demonstration, and 2 minutes for Q&A. Your 4 minutes period, you'll be timed for 4 minutes. You'll be alerted when the 2 minutes comes up, 1 minute, 30 seconds. So keep an eye on our timer. You'll be sitting at this chair in a little bit when we get started. Hope you have a great day. Don't be nervous. Have fun.
Thank you. This time says a lot. Say no more. No, really, how you guys feeling? Good? Yeah. That's the energy we're looking for, guys. Bring that energy right up here too. Besides the prizes, we'll also be awarding separate prizes for the team that wins the crowd favorite Beat People's Choice Award. You will have the opportunity to cast a vote for your favorite presentation. We will be providing a poll to tally the votes after all of the teams have presented. So listen closely to each one. The team with the most votes will be awarded a $25 Amazon gift card for each team member. Now, it is time to get our presentation started. You folks ready for that? Nice round of applause. We will be starting with our high school division. We begin the competition with the high school teams. Up first, I believe it's pronounced Jammy. Is it Jammy? Ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause for Jammy presenting their city. Jammy.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Andrew. This is Carl, Jose, Amika, and Jason, and we're doing the AI consortium. So our problem is, since there's a lot of information posted online, it becomes difficult to find the information you're looking for. So, for example, if you're searching for like the best shopping centers on Oahu, you're gonna search it up. There's gonna be lots of results, and you're gonna have trouble looking for it because there's a lot of entries. You're gonna scroll, and this wastes your time, and it's not that efficient. So therefore, we decided to create a simple chatbot that is designed to help users find information about Hawaii. This would be quickly, efficient, and this will save lots of time.
Our chatbot is different from other chatbots because ours is more direct and caters directly towards Hawaii and its place. If you were to use another chatbot, it would give you more broad answers that don't really specificize towards Hawaii.
And this is the tech stack we use. We use TypeScript as our language, Next.js as a React framework, NextAuth as our authentication, CRPC as like a translator from the back end to the front end, and PostCRE SQL, which is like a database, and ad design.
Okay, so some challenges we face is that implementing the AI into our app was tricky because it wouldn't work 100% of the time. For example, just last night we're having trouble having our AI work, so we spent all night trying to fix that. And because of this, when hosting it, our chatbot wouldn't pop up, it would give a blank screen.
Okay, over here we can demonstrate our live demo. So over here we get access to a login page, which I can log in right now. Okay. So before we get into our actual AI chatbot, we can introduce our topics, which will show our most popular questions. Our save items, just in case you want to save some of your chats with the AI, and a chat history, which you can view just in case you want to go back or delete some of your chats. And most importantly, our Hawaii AI assistant. So let's ask a simple question, a specific question that is only in the island. For example, is there a Lego store in Moana? It can provide specific information like a Lego store in Moana and tells you about the store and other information. And we also have a feature which implements it automatic translation, which I can show you here.
I speak Tagalog, so I'm gonna translate the same question in Tagalog. And answered in Tagalog as well.
Regarding efforts, you want to expand globally into the future, not just in Hawaii. For example, if you want to maybe search up locations like where's a good restaurant in maybe Copenhagen, then you'll be able to provide the answer. You can also upload images. So if you want to like send a picture of Alamana and ask the AI bot, where is this place located, it'll give you the answer. And you also want to be able to implement a landing page into our app. Thank you.
That's right, you know, about accident exams, you have the different language, put a tab on that kind of stuff. I really like the way the end of the log into this still full, regular users, do they have to log into that app and then do the checkout?
Yes, they can actually create an account which has a probably showcase. They have to access or they can log into the chatbot's website itself.
That's right.
Cool. I'm, great work, team Chair, and, I agree, I love the multiple language aspect. I'm curious, what was you mentioned you had some challenges up to, right until the last minute last night on this. What did you guys learn with, how you were able to resolve through that, and, what are some of your takeaways from, putting this together?
The problem we actually faced was that the API key we used for the chatbot itself, expired. And we saw that, there's making another account, so we can generate another API key and made a free trial.
Backup just in case because of this. So yeah, like stayed up until like midnight trying to figure out a solution.
Thank you very much.
Up to our first team, our second team, we'd like to call up, please welcome the team Innovate.
So I want to welcome them to our event. Thank you for coming from Maui. So, the first project gets to be levels for the community and our clients. And for device access, the dashboard highlights the metrics on device availability in a place of island online. On the geographical breakdown, I took GIS maps that have detailed data visualization and legends that shows different geographic levels, including data specific for that community. For literacy, I showed this specific charts for chart share with different literacy programs and tracking around the world, around the island. It has feedback. I use Survey 150, which use people's surveys and use input data from people around the world that participated and input into that. Monitor. Using the visualization, you can see the impact gap within one. Personality, what sets the dashboard vividly is that it's embedded code from chart data. This is embedded code which allows you and yes, animation parts. I'm focused on making user-friendly design and input for the user. And impact. This dashboard is very accurate. Notice it shows impact gaps around different device affordability and gives policymakers to target interventions and improve outcomes for Hawaii's residents. Challenges, I was a beginner and I didn't know how to use Azure well, so I had to get some help. I had to use portals. I didn't have enough time to do robotics and other types of programs and competitions before this, and I had trouble showing data. Several times. Dashboard, I use dynamic content to have more real-time data to show population, total households, and broadband connectivity, which shows that 3.5% of people don't have internet subscriptions. There's also broadband connectivity for device access and shows clear examples of tables and other population distributions of broadband connectivity. With device communities and also different times. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you and welcome from mom. Really appreciate you having all the real here. So one question that I have for you is, since we're a little, it seems like you're a little short on time. Please highlight anything else that you'd like to share with us.
Don't go on the computer until you're done. It shows communities that need internet and are very important that don't have this internet connectivity, like disadvantaged communities. And internet groups of user communities itself. And for the survey part, you enter a survey which shows different types of questions regarding broadband connectivity, age group demographics, household income brackets, and basic general questions regarding being a citizen in Hawaii. And what this data takes into it is it puts it into a map that shows disadvantaged areas. Disadvantaged areas, which you can't show right now because nobody's submitted a survey, but it shows, it pops up into that map.
Thank you.
I appreciate the breakdown and the design and layout of your presentation. It made it very clear what you accomplish and technical requirements that you're looking to meet. My question is more around, obviously this data can be very dynamic based on like day to day, right? So like what's like, how, what's the criteria on that data to ensure that it's accurate for those?
I first thought about this with like annually, because, and I also thought about privacy and like data regions on that too. So I thought maybe annually or within a certain period of 12 months, so it can afford accurate data. And the refresh time will actually like crash or make it, make it laggy and stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll leave that once in, one more nice round of applause. Welcome to Odium, the team freshie.
I'm Colin Beacon, and I'm the proud developer of Lowest Bird Play. So once again, my name is Colin Beacon. I'm the sole developer of Lowest Bird Place. I'm currently a freshman at Apollo High School in the Academy of Industrial Engineering and Technology. Some tools I use is the good old game engine, and we used to create basic graphics and was the basic foundation for my app. I know it's Apple iOS plugins, and we used to create features like AR and notifications. So the problem. Many people lack awareness and a connection to why it's native birds. Hawaii is home to many unique and endangered bird species, and most people don't even know anything about these birds. Without awareness or connection, people won't be as motivated to protect these species, which makes conservation challenging without a bond between the people and the birds around them. So the solution. My app aims to solve this by teaching the players in a fun and interactive way. Players can snapshot birds in augmented reality and gain more information about the birds. It teaches the players about the birds around them and understand their habitat. It builds a connection between the birds, and this encourages conservation through engagement. Some problems and challenges I faced along the way, but it was difficult to implement the iOS plugins. The iOS plugins don't work natively in Windows, so I had to write some manual code to make it work. Some stretch goals I have for this app was scroll expansion. I don't want this app only to be useful in Oahu, but I want it useful to be everywhere around the world. It will help spread awareness about more birds that everyone around could relate to, like in Europe or in the mainland, and community engagement. I want to have more features that allows players to share discoveries and connect to the local community. I want to help build like little bird enthusiast community and player customization. I want to have more features that allow players to personalize their characters and just help build a better relationship between character and player. Demo. So my app starts being this place start. That's our play. And if you click on a bird, show you guys. It's a real life. You take a picture of it, press next. It will give you more information, so the status is least concern, and then you just recommend it over. You go back to the home page. You can go to the gallery. 150 birds, and I captured only 17 of them. You click on this. It'll also bring back information that was once presented. So that was a picture I took in class. Oh, his name is recorded mine, and it's least concerned too. Yeah, thank you for listening.
Here's about any play Pokemon games.
aside from there, yeah, that was wonderful. Yeah. So great presentation. I love the concept and the way you integrated the augmented reality there into it. It's really cool. As you think about your stretch goals and trying to take it global, what do you think you would have to do in order to try and enable that? Or how do you take the learnings that you got from building what you have today and think about how to scale it out next?
Because obviously, I need to learn about what other individuals are there, and I have to participate in have to also get more information on the birds around the world, that because constitution status and make that's it.
Thank you.
From high school, that was Freshie. We welcome now on the challenge of energy usage. Please welcome the team, Energies.
Energy. I'm Mark, this is Craig, and this is Marcus. So the challenge we had was Hawaii Thinking Museum needed us to teach kids about energy usage. So we did exactly that. But in order to make an app to teach kids about energy usage, decided to make a format where it will be somewhat of a simulation. But we had challenges along the way. Of course, some of the challenges that we had was that first we use AI generation for our UI, and that was why because we couldn't get specific, images, so that took some time. Other problems was UI design, positioning the button, the app. So some of the stretch goals for our app is to make it so the UI is more clear, making it so we can have different backgrounds and besides the images. And hopefully we can add more electronics so we can diversify the amount of electronics we can modify. Now it's time for our live presentation. So this is our app. The user just clicks the door to get started and they enter their energy stack, which displays their energy gauge, the amount of power being used, and their background. They can click on any of these panels to they can click any of the to display the UI or one of the electronics, which displays the amount of energy they consume and the amount of meters they power. Now, if they click the button on the bottom, it changes, you can change the amount of devices they wish to power and the amount of energy each unit consumes. For example, I can choose to make a TV, I can choose to power, I don't know, like 200 TVs. And I can choose to allot, oh no. Right. You can allot like 5 units of power that each TV, but each unit of power, the background will change because they're using too much and it's polluting the environment. This will be all of our presentation.
Because of my age, I appreciate the 8-bit representation. But to that, obviously, again, the mission here is to educate and allow, children to understand energy usage. Are there, do you have plans for other devices to showcase understanding the things that children use beyond television?
We plan to showcase multiple different devices, such as the option there, like computers and washing machine, I guess doesn't know you. We also plan to introduce phones, Wi-Fi, lights, things like that.
Thank you.
Thank you. What would you have liked to do if you had more time to do it?
I'd like to polish the backgrounds a lot more because right now I feel it looks a little odd. So if we had more time to do it, maybe we could manually make more backgrounds and change the background every time the power you can go up with real value.
Thank you very much.
Good job to the team named Energies. One more round of applause for all of our. At this time, we are now turning to our professional teams. And first up, I love their name. Team name, Married with Children. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a nice round of applause.
We are Married with Children. My name is Lisa Johnson, and I'm with the Purple Mountain Foundation, and this is my husband, John Johnson, currently with the State of Hawaii BCCA, Salesforce certified admins. So we chose the Tyler Hawaii Challenge, the Hawaii AI Concierge Bot Challenge. Currently, someone wanting to find information specifically about Hawaii, like say, business registration or renewing their driver's license, probably go to Google, or the Hawaii.gov portal site to try to find that information. We're all familiar with online searches. You go there, you put in something you want to find, and get all of this information. It's just too much, too overwhelming, and sometimes you don't even know if it's accurate or relevant. Traditional chatbots are also limited in the queries that they can process. So Tyler Hawaii put on this challenge to see if there might be a better way to find information quickly, effectively, and accurately. And we believe that with our solution, we've accomplished that. So let me just quickly show you what a search on Hawaii.gov's portal site currently looks like. I wanted to find out how many divisions were in DCCA, and as you can see, none of these search results gave the answer. DCCA is the first search return, but I would still have to click on the link, go to the website, and spend my own time searching for the answer that I'm looking for. So for our proposed solution, in a future state, we believe all of the following is possible. Accurate information from a verified official website. For this project, we use DCCA's website. Web, phone, email options for everyone, multi-language support, 24/7 availability, user satisfaction, and saving taxpayer money by reducing costs for staffing, training, and operating expenses while providing top-notch customer service and support. So for our solution, we chose to leverage the capabilities of Agent Force to create an AI agent that serves as a concierge bot for the department that John works for. Now John will show you all a live demo of what we created.
So we created a website here, and the goals, the requirements that Tyler Hawaii had was they wanted us to have an icon that you would click on. It would bring up your actual agent. So we've got the agent, and they're able to type in their question, and they're able to get a response back. So we go ahead and we can already prepare this. We can say how many divisions are in DCCA. We send that in there. The agent on the back end, the AI concierge, it's taking all the information using the DCCA website as the source of truth. It comes back and tells us that there are 12 divisions and offices, and that's true. I'm one of those. So I know that, but I want to show you a little bit about the agent itself. how does it work on the back end? So we have things called topics. Topics are areas that your bot are going to choose on based on the context of the conversation. So it goes in here and it chooses which topic to use. And it goes in, it's got the classification description of what the issues are, the scope, and it has the instructions that guide it. So it tells you what you can answer, what you need more information for, and I put in guardrails saying, hey, don't talk about insurance. So if I ask it, hey, tell me about insurance over here, as we test it, we can see that it goes, it analyzes the request. Oh, and I run out of time. So anyhow, once I can see it just goes through all the logic here, you can debug it, look at what instructions it took, get to the reasoning behind it, and that is our bot. Thank you.
It's obviously a very applicable use case, and it's great to see the great opening here. I'm curious, from constructing the Q&A pairing, like what went into that process, and how do you think about how do you get to managing more of the questions and answers that you want, and like restricting things like don't talk about insurance that's boring.
Yeah, to do that, we can build in instructions to go through certain topics. One of the things that I wanted to build in here, this is in the want to have the kind of stretching area. You can hook this up. If you're using CRM already, you can hook this up to your flows and your automations in the background. So instead of just answering questions, general questions about, let's say, TCCA, you can say, hey, can you assist me with, filling out a business license or, applying for a business license? And you can sign your automation. It can ask you the questions, go through the verification right there, ask you for your username and password, and get you actually doing things. So that's what the real value behind this is. You can expand this into so many things. So at DCCA, which I know about, we have CRM is the background for a lot of what we do, and we can tie this into a bunch of our processes. That's going to deflect from offices. It's going to save us a lot of time in terms of call centers and things like that. And the nice thing is it has multi-language support built in for 8 languages currently, more coming out, and that also saves on translation services as well.
Also down here, I know some of the challenges building those pipelines, getting the right information, actually have the requirements and accuracy in there. Even sometimes with the information website, they have redundant information, book information. How do you guarantee, to be sure that the information is most up to date and accurate?
That's a good thing. So I was going through here and I was asking the question, who's in charge of DCCA? And one of the issues that comes up is you've got the information in there, let's say press releases from maybe 6 years with different administration. So you'll see that Cologne, the previous DCCA head is in there. You can refine your questions to say who's currently in. So you need to do a combination of clean up your data. Your AI is only as good as your data. And the other side is to, in prompting itself, asking questions.
That would seem very with children. In the professional category, we'd like to welcome now, T.
Important, improve fully, so that means that the power, people the work on nothing, now, and we want to go higher. What we created is more than a dashboard, it's a tool, it's a bridge, one that brings digital equity data to life. Our inspiration, digital equity is more than just access to the internet. It's about creating opportunity, connection, and a sense of belonging in a digital world for everyone. We knew that to help bridge Hawaii's digital equity gap, we needed a solution that anyone, policymakers, educators, and community members could understand and use. Our vision
Hawaii Digital Equity Dashboard at a glance. We made sure it's an intuitive platform, it's open source, and it's easy to understand and access. A platform where anyone can get a clear view of Hawaii's digital equity landscape in just a few seconds. Meet the team, Chandra, he's front end, he's not here right now. Tiger Lee, back end, and myself, Martin, I'm my UX UI designer. So the solution, the digital equity dashboard. We made sure the presents critical data points like digital literacy, device access, and broadband connectivity all in one place. Accessible, user-friendly, and visually impactful. We've also made sure to include the 6 components, digital, financial literacy, access, open data, broadband connectivity, geographical breakdown, and which you can also dive deeper if you want in each section if you want to get more information about it. We also included a user feedback form where you can submit a response, and this is very helpful to improve the user experience. And we also chose a design that reflects Hawaii's spirit, a nice color palette with blue oceans and pink hibiscus, reflecting a little bit Hawaii's spirit. And what we learned was team collaboration, visual clarity, strategic data collection. That was super important to make sure the most important data is out there. And also very, very important, the user focused design, right? So there can be a nice user experience while using the dashboard. So now, tools we use, Figma, GitHub, Python, MySQL, and Streamlit. And thank you very much. Now we're going to move into demo with Tiger.
And Tiger Lee with the team who our event. Martin mentioned we have 6 components. Device access, broadband, coverage. We use heat map to demonstrate the coverage of the things, higher is, the better the coverage is. And we have digital literacy, so it's we separated into 5 categories with the redness user literacy. We have open data. You can see those hardware names over there. 2020 fundraising. We can. This is the national digital equity website. So you can see every single component. We have detailed data with raw data. And you can do further analysis on the fly. This is the example here. Just very quick. This is raw data. Okay.
Thank you for the presentation. One question that I have is, you had a chart about that showed digital literacy, and I mean, how literate, it's a pie chart of how literate people are. So can you explain where that data came from?
Actually, this is the page. I'm going to just use 2 examples here. So this is a percentage of those 5 categories. Of course, unprepared is probably is prepared, and digital learner is the highest. As you can see, we can do the analysis on the fly. If you can see different angles to see the same data. Better have different color here, you can see it's very nice to have.
Yeah, and the data came from, they given us a program, a survey they did. So we had a environment of links where you could rely on data. We had it open to scroll through and just pull out the most important
but it was a program that has all the patient.
Thank you for the presentation. I do appreciate the emphasis on the end user experience. And the feedback loop, but also obviously the design. My questions around understanding that the end game is to, elevate everybody access. And then the lack of inclusion, maybe the perspective. How do you have the ability to benchmark against like similar environments? It's not just a view of the way, but also again, whether there's
That's a great question. Unfortunately, we don't have that much data, from the eBay website. We definitely have a live, user feedback, it's live, but rather than that, I think, we'll have our work to do the baseline and do the comparisons. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Team Kutui, taking on the challenge of digital equity. Next up, taking on the challenge of Aloha Birds, who's welcome to the stand, Code with Aloha.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We are Code with Aloha, and our team will be presenting our solution to the Limanu Oku Aloha Birds Challenge. Before getting started, we want to say that we're really excited to work on this challenge because it provided a wonderful excuse to work with new technology and challenge our team to learn something new. We thank you for listening and hope you enjoy it. We'll start by recapping the goal of the project, which was to engage users in an interactive and educational experience that fosters deeper appreciation and knowledge of Hawaii's native bird population. In short, our project aims to inspire curiosity about native bird species, their habitats, as well as conservation efforts while encouraging outdoor activity. Our game was built using the same technology that powers Pokemon Go, Unity and Niantic Light Shift. Together, this provides capabilities for real-world spatial interactions, augmented reality, and the app to be deployable to both Android and iOS devices to increase accessibility. I'll briefly highlight the key features of our game before we get into the demo. We'll start with the Avian Atlas, which is the main screen where players can see a representation of their real-world geographical surroundings and birds to interact with. We call those interactions bird encounters, which triggers an AR mode where players can see and be encountered birds in their immediate surroundings and capture snapshots to view at a later time. After taking photos or capturing birds, players may use the AviDex scene, which provides a scroll view of the birds that have been encountered. Clicking AviDex entries reveals a detailed page with information about the selected bird. Players may visit their profile to check points earned from catching and photographing birds. This profile tracks their game stats, such as total score, unique birds, and total birds encountered. Finally, we have our AI bird identification feature. This feature allows players to upload real-world images and get them identified, providing quick information about the birds they see in the wild. Thank you, and now for this one.
Yep. So it's my phone screen.
Never mind.
Right, so here's my. Here's my hosting.
We're running the app, the full community, and this is your start screen, when you enter the game. And then we're brought into the map. So this is actually real time geolocated. As you can see it. There we are, and the roundabout where we entered. And you can see some of the birds. So we're gonna capture the barn owl. So you can see the slide. It's pretty right here in the airplane. Capture it. And after it's captured, you can actually check your AV tags and check who captured the barn owl is, learn a little bit more about it. With information that we pulled from the database that we have. And you can actually see, the image that you actually captured. And you can also go to your profile and see how many birds you captured, how many points. And this is our AI function. So, this is an existing photo of a bird. You can send it over to OpenAI, process, and tell us what bird it is. So this is the result. Just to show that, you can also do other birds, unscripted. You can actually see that. That's it.
So I know you guys were on there briefly for pulling up the screen on the mobile. Was there anything else that you wish you had time to have been able to show off there? I want to make sure to give you guys that opportunity.
That was about it, actually. Oh, I mean, there's also the pigeon animation just to show another model. Okay. But up to you guys. So, that will be showing that with the AI identified. What's the accuracy of every time you take a picture of a bird and actually you identify the live bird,
So we're using ChatGPT's 4.0 model, and it's been hit or miss. So those are both pictures that I took. The natives were off white, and pigeon was right next to my place. I had it try to identify a minor bird that was in a tree, but I think having the tree there kind of threw it off. And I also tried to have it identify the cardinal, but it thought it was a red-crested woodpecker. So maybe in a future release, we would add a little more description about this is where I found the bird, and it might increase the accuracy.
Have you thought about maybe using your own machine learning capability to do some of those pictures to improve accuracy of identification of the birds?
Yeah, if we had more time, that would have been really cool to do.
Thank you.
Like one more question around any insight we could give on how do you maintain user engagement? Understanding that after I take a couple of photos and identify the bird, how do I model it?
So we didn't get to deploy any of this, but we had some storyline ideas. For example, the original idea was to have birds that you capture in their actual habitats, but we thought that might get kind of old after a while because you always see the same things in the same places. So the story that we had was there's been a hurricane, birds are out of place, so you see them all over there, and you have to actually be able to take the bird back to its natural habitat. So things like that we keep rotating through by
Cool, thank you.
Team Code, come on. And our final team in this category, please welcome now Snake Snacks. What an interesting name there.
I'm good. This is a reading model for our app. We kind of wanted to have a more accurate feel to the birds, but we tried the best we can. And trying to put together all the GPS and AR stuff was also kind of difficult, but we managed to pull it.
One of the key features that we need are that, the GPS integration uses Mapbox SDK for Unity, which pulls from open source real-life data to accurately place birds in their natural habitats. Our AI features allow players to capture birds and receive a score based on distance, speed, and whether or not the player can accurately guess what kind of species the bird is. Players are also able to view all birds available in the Apedex, which uses information from eBird and is sorted accurately according to ecosystem type.
So we created all of our birds through Blender by ourselves, and we put them in an AR space that flies around the camera in order to create a fun immersive experience for the player. And once you take a picture of the bird, it will appear lit up in the Apedex and it will be available in the player profile. And then we use Unity Cloud integration to help user authentication and allow players to report real life bird sighting. We also have error markers for future events. Yeah,
Paused already.
Connected, but it won't connect right now. Can you connect the phone directly to the USB?
I think we tried before, but the format wasn't.
Steve and the architect guys have any suggestions for them?
You guys want to show your demo video?
Yeah.
What do you think that is? I don't know.
What we can do is we can open our screen in Unity, but it won't be able to show the entire computer that. So it must begin.
So this is our user authentication, we just created a normal user and our test user. So so when you log in, you get to the GPS position. So right now we have it set to our location right now, which is the Wessel Hack. We have event markers which show what events are going on nearby. In the future, we can use it for volunteer opportunities and conservation efforts. But for now, let's show the recipe tab. So when we click on the bird, we different city you will be seeing, and then we can take a picture of the bird. Especially we can't move it around right now, but there is an option to show. There's an option to do an identify guess, and then you can save the image to your phone if you want to. And it just shows we have user profiles and we have Apodex that divides all the birds into their different types of ecosystems like forest, coast, mountain, or urban area. And we also have allow for users to report actual bird sightings. So we'll just do a small test right here. And it actually takes a little bit, around like 2 minutes, which we might not have for that. But we do have a little bit for it, but when it does update, it does show the user bird in, or the bird that the user reported and with their GPS location. Question?
Some just made a career in sales, so I could just say the demo gods are active and, you know, it's always a challenge. So I appreciate you guys, finding everybody you could to roll punches there. I'm just curious, based on, you were a little bit limited here. Was there anything you wish you could have shown off today that you weren't able to here that you want to make sure you articulate?
So if the error hadn't worked on our computer, we would have shown like, like how the other groups have done it. We would have taken a picture of you guys with the bird in it, but we would have also shown that the bird moves around quite frequently to create a fun experience for the player.
Also not shown is the AVX, which has every bloom tree plus information from eBird, which is displayed, and also player specific achievements and EXP and birds found are collected and stored in Community Cloud and is able to be loaded for the player every time they log into that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm so thankful that I have the easy job today. I ain't gotta worry about any of that technology or none of that stuff. So congratulations to all of you who have presented so far. At this time, we're gonna take a brief little break. We're gonna stretch the legs. Once again, you have a chance to visit the sponsor table. I aim to be back here by around 11:30. When we come back, we will be continuing our presentations with our collegiate teams. And once again, if you need the restrooms, they're down the hall. Please aim to be back here by 11:30. Let's start things back up again with another round of applause for all of these organizers here today. We have made this event possible. And I want to share some more round of applause. Sponsors, thanks to you all. We are here today. So one more round of applause for them. Thank you for being here. I'm going to describe here the facilities that we are using here today. If our judges are ready, thumbs up, we're going to move right along with our program. So far, you have seen the presentation from the high school teams and the professional teams, and now we are going to jump into our college team. In this division, we have 9 teams presenting, and to get the college team started, we'd like to welcome Akamai, emphasis on the AI, presenting their solution to the AI Concierge Challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Akamai.
From our break, we're all settling down. This is our project, Akamai. My name is Kyla, and this is my partner, Heinrich. So we created our program that addresses the challenge of creating an AI chatbot that provides information about Hawaii, specifically on the different activities that you can do here. So I've been local, I've lived here all my life, but still there's a need to find what is there to do here and what fun things can we do. So our project and our goal is to use AI-powered chatbot to create streamlines for access to information and give real-time data like weather data, safety alerts, and different events happening here in Hawaii. For our technical implementation, Ira can talk a little bit more about our Vertex AI and our Google Map.
Yeah, okay, so we did our project with Firebase, the app, and then we used Flutter as well. And Vertex is the AI that we use for the prompt generation. And then also we have a couple of integrated APIs. We look at the current weather to get better and more customized responses, as well as Google Maps API for traffic information.
So the main functionalities of this is the chat interface where the users can interact to ask the chatbot questions about Hawaii, like what activities are there around, and it takes in the user's preferences. For example, I'm interested in going on a hike versus I'm interested in fishing and stuff like that. You can also prompt it by saying how active you are. With hikes, there's a wide range of difficulty. So like I want to go on a 10-mile hike versus a brisk walk around the park. We also use the Vertex AI to generate those responses based on the user's personality and their queries. We also have an Explore page, which displays a grid of activities related to Hawaii, not limited to hikes and beaches and ocean events, but we also have it listing the upcoming events.
Okay, and we'll talk about picture movement, but I think maybe really quickly. So one of the things is branding development, which we weren't able to fully accomplish, but that's one of the future things we had a bit more time. And then also in general, more fine tuning, improving the AI, interface and UI and all that. And to switch over to the demo really quick. Okay, awesome. So this is our app. This is the Explore page that I already kind of mentioned. So here we generate a couple different suggestions that people can scroll through. Kind of based on where they currently are. So for the most part, they should be here on the island. So if we were to look at one of these, for example. Okay, we get a quick summary. It's kind of dark to see, and our interface isn't great, but there's also a button there to be able to read that out. Yeah, and then there's a difficulty level, time to travel there, based on our current location. And then we switch over. There's also our chapter. So we can ask questions here. So for example, we're going to Maui later, what activities and we can do there. And then we should hopefully get a response in a second. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Okay, here we go. So we got a couple different suggestions that you can swipe through. And yeah, so you can kind of see, again, it's like clickable, you can go through. And we generated these right now, so unfortunately, they're not great. Maybe now. But yeah, I think that's some of the gist. So that's something that I think we definitely want to add right now. It would be supported, I think, with projects. It should be hard to do, but we haven't fully tested it, so it's not something that is like a live feature, right?
Thank you. Can you talk a little bit more, about working with the state websites? Thank you.
Yeah, so on the step part, as you kind of scroll through and it gives the different information about each one, you can kind of see, if you click on them, for the more information side. Yep, so if you click on the more information link, those are the links that are from the .gov and .state.
And so this is one of the places we ran some issues with grounding, because theoretically we want this to be a state website and not necessarily, so in this case, it's ironpalace.org, which technically is outside of the range of what we would want it to be giving us. But yeah, I think in the future, if we would have more time, it'd be great to kind of integrate this, with like actual hiking data more like up to date.
Thank you very much.
Great job to Team Akamai, emphasis on the AI. Our next team, we'd like to welcome, please give it up for CGA.
What is this? Standard?
My name is Alex, and we work on the white AI concierge chatbot. So the main challenge was to develop an AI chatbot to help people receive information about Hawaii. Right now, it kind of works as more of a Google search engine on the Hawaii portal website. But I don't know about you guys, if there's something that takes 5 minutes, I'd rather spend an hour writing a program so I can do it in 5 seconds. That's what we wanted to do. So this is what it currently looks like from a user standpoint. It will give you tons of results and you have to go through them manually, which is cumbersome. Our objectives were to create interactive, simple, and quality chatbot that even your grandma could use. My grandma can't use this, she's very proud of me. So one of the main issues that we ran into when we were creating our chatbot was data gathering. We couldn't find any APIs that were public for us to use. So we explored web scraping, but we ran into restrictions on going to the websites themselves. They restricted against scrapers and crawlers. Next, we tried to use search API, like Brave Search API or Bing. The response times were way too slow, and honestly, there were a lot of data inconsistencies. So we settled on just system instructions, and that provided us with the information we needed. Our front end was Python based with Django. We used Bootstrap for our CSS, and then we implemented ZenGuard AI to help guard our chatbot against prompt injection, as well as a list of keywords using Fuzzy Wuzzy to prevent against misspelled keywords as well. That will keep it from sending it to the Gemini API itself. These are some key features of our chatbot. It is mobile responsive. We have multi-language support. We added some accessibility. We can change different font sizes so that it's difficult to read. And there's prompt injection that I mentioned earlier. Let's move on to our demo. All right, so this is our main site. Christian, if you want to ask it, what kind of hikes there are in Hawaii? or Hawaii specifically. Main things that Tyler Hawaii requested was that we have sources to back up the information that we got. So we wanted to make sure that our chatbot provided sources for each of the information that it gave. As you can see, there are links for each of the trails, and they're also segregated based on easy, moderate, or challenging. Now, if you want to type in the same question in Spanish. So it should recognize the prompt was written in Spanish, and then it should output the response also in Spanish. Now it is generative AI, so it's not going to be the exact same response. But yeah, that's what we need to do. Now try something out of scope. All right, as you can see, if it doesn't relate to Hawaii itself, the chatbot will refuse to answer the question. And then if he wants to go ahead and try to do some sort of prompt injection to instruct the bot to be something it's not supposed to be. All right, so it'll keep it from even sending the message to the API itself to guard against chat injection. And if you want to go ahead and show the accessibility features as well. Awesome, that's perfect. So some things that we want to work on in the future. Oh. I'm curious what things you would like to do in the future. Yeah. So one of the main things that we're hoping to do is improve on the accessibility, maybe add some text to speech and vice versa, speech to text. We also wanted to make some security improvements as well. Christian, do you have any things that you were looking for?
Yeah, I was looking into like anti-spamming because if you were to implement this in a real life situation, you end up using tokens, which is if somebody just wants to spam tokens, you're essentially burning money. So we wanted to do some way to mitigate that.
Great. Any other questions?
How many languages does it translate into, and does it include Hawaiian?
That is a good question. Right now, we have tested 5. Hawaiian is not one of the ones that we've tested. Actually 6. We tested Japanese as well, but we did not. And it doesn't fully support Japanese. Sometimes it'll give information inconsistency, so we're still working on that.
Thank you very much.
Good job to that team. That was CGA. Moving right along in our collegiate category, please welcome the team HACC.
So good morning, esteemed judges and audience. My name is. Of course, Kat. Hurry, sir. So good morning, esteemed judges and audience. My name is Lionel Derek Rojas, and I'm honored to serve as the founder and president of HACC Technologies at UH Manoa. Our mission is to empower local community with digital solutions by fostering a network of businesses led by UH entrepreneurs. At HACC, we live by the belief that hard work beats talent. And today, we are here to show you the results of that hard work. Creating a research report shouldn't feel impossible, yet researchers and students waste hours hunting for data sets, navigating multiple tools, and manually assembling a coherent report. It's inefficient, exhausting, and takes focus away from meaningful insights. It's time to focus on what truly matters. Your time. Introducing UH Space Data Hub. In just 3 easy steps, we've made it possible for anyone to generate full scientific reports in seconds Let me walk you through what my team has built. Step one, solve your data sets for easy access anytime. Save your data sets for easy access anytime with our bookmarks. Step two, visualize with 4 customizable chart types to suit your needs. Then you can use our Uncle X chatbot to generate scientific reports. And finally, simplify your workflow with HECC Instanote. All of these tools are available in HECC dashboard. And step 3, showcase your projects by joining our vibrant community, learning from past projects, and be recognized for your innovation. We didn't just make a website, we delivered a community where you finally have time to party because you're no longer stuck at your desk. A community where work is no longer an excuse to miss your son's birthday or your anniversary. A community where you can showcase your hard work and talents, building the next generation of aspiring scientists. Because at UH Space Data Hub, we value your time. Let us dive into our live demo.
All right, so for the live demonstration, I'll be showcasing step by step how easy it is to create your own project report. So first, you navigate through the categories and select the data set of your choice. Here you can bookmark it to save and view in the dashboard you headed to. And then in the HECC dashboard, you have all the tools you need to write your own customizable report. So you can import your data set into our chatbot, Uncle HECC, and ask it anything about a data set. But for now, we will be asking it to write us a scientific report. And as you can see, it is well formatted with headers and also provides you all the analysis and insights you need for your report. Uncle HECC also has a pigeon feature that generates responses in pigeon, and this is to accommodate for the local persona. Next, you can take your data report into our HECC Instanote, where you can fully customize your report. You can also access our CSV data visualization, where you can export your chart and bring it straight into your report. Now that you've finalized the report, you can export it, and if you want to, you can share it with our community. Here, if you're logged in, you can manage your report by uploading or editing and deleting your past reports. Once you've uploaded it, you will be generated a project card in real time that allows others to view your report, as well as download your report and sources you use.
Thank you very much. That concludes our presentation and our Q&A session is open.
Is there only kind of look into the metadata and use it in the story data set? How can we get about the data once you generate it?
So you're asking if they can visualize those data sets? So you can go ahead and click any categories in a data set, and it should automatically show you the tables of what that file contains. And you could even filter it out, and then it'll visualize that specific filter that you set, or just the entire file if you didn't filter out anything. So it's not just generating any random data, but it's actually reading what that file has and generating its report for you. So it's all automated in just seconds.
Thank you very much.
That was, one more nice round of applause for them. Official, unofficial, yeah. Our next team, ICS 3 + 1 = 4. Let's welcome them up here to the stand.
My name is Gary, this is the captain, and this here is our team. So 36%, this is what the US Bureau of Labor Statistics says, data science jobs will grow from 2023 to 2033, which far exceeds the 4% average for other jobs. Now, this tells us that data literacy is more important than ever been, and data interest is continuing to peak. So what's the problem? Well, this here is the open data portal for Hawaii right now. Let's say that I was looking for some kind of data on education, I would be met with this thing here where you see that says library borrowers 1984 2011. Not very useful. Okay, it's messy, it's outdated, there's no visualizations, and it's just not user friendly. Right, so enter Aloha Archives. We provide a very simple and effective intuitive interface where you can find any data that you need. Our data sets are laid out in big, easy to read tiles, and searching is a breeze. Users can actually look through some visualizations such as histogram, the scatter plots, and then you can also add these to their favorites to use later. And if you're a little bit lost and don't know where to search, you can head to our recommendations page, take a quick quiz on the questions and get some personalized suggestions powered by OpenAI. And if you're a data contributor, we have a page just for you. You can manage the data sets and edit your data sets and all that data. And we have actually gotten quite a bit of user feedback. 80% of our users say they like using the navigation, but 57% that so they didn't like the way they were doing filtering, so it's something that we're still working on. And there's plenty of things that they suggested because kind of agreeing to this for us to work on. And we're doing our best to make sure that users of all demographics can have access to it. Right? To the demo.
Okay, so we're going to be starting from the perspective of the average user. When you log in with an account, you're taken to this home page where you see some trending data sets, some toggles. But let's say I'm really interested in learning about population. Sorry. I really want to see data sets about population. I can go ahead and type that into the search bar, and here are some suggestions. This is a toggle thing. So if I wanted to see data just related to state of Hawaii, I can go ahead and click it, toggle it down. But I'm personally very interested in the Census Bureau one. So if I want to learn more about it, I can click on it, and I'm taken to this page where it tells me more about the data set. And I'm able to see some visualizations without even having downloaded the data set. So I'm able to kind of understand what I'm getting into without even downloading it. So this helps with accessibility for users who may not have the technical skills. And I really like this data set. So I want to add it to my favorites so I can easily reference it later. And if I come back up to the favorites tab, there it is for my access later on. Now, if I didn't know what I was looking for specifically, I can go ahead and click through this quiz and fill it out based on my personal experience, submit it, and there I've been assigned the persona of public informer and recommended data sets based off of that. And if you're an admin user, you get this special tab of manage data sets where you can go in, populate more data sets using the form up here, as well as delete existing data sets and edit existing data sets that are currently in the database. Thank you.
What do you have to do your tool?
Because we started out basically not knowing our tech stack at all. We didn't actually start things and starting learning in class. So there's a lot of things we would add. One of the main things is we would probably work more on data. And then we would like to be able to add more upload options. We'd like to add download option. Maybe even like a snapshot of a specific graphic. Like we're really trying to make it useful for kind of anyone to use, including user parents. So So, have a lot of stuff and prevention about that. But yeah, there's a lot of things like that.
And then just from, a perspective of trying to, make it as easy as possible to get to the data, like, what did you guys learn through that process? It sounds like you guys, learned quite a bit, but, in talking about where you want to go next, it sounds like some of those ideas, if you could, summarize kind of where the challenges were that you guys ran into first and the most, and then you overcame, though, that would be interesting.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time at the very beginning trying to figure out where to get our data. In the end, kind of settled for the time being spot data. But where we would get our data is just kind of all over the place because Hawaii is split over a bunch of different organizations. UDET has a bunch of things. It's not a very easily accessible Excel file. Census Bureau has a lot of things where you have an API, which is pretty useful. So yeah, it would probably take just a lot of just kind of going down the list of like all of the things that you can actually access.
How do you protect those data in the ecosystem?
Yeah, so we would ideally have, so the data being protected is, it's, for the users itself, is going to be relatively straightforward. We have it in, the Postgres server that's protected through authentication. For the data itself, I actually don't think it's going to be as big of a concern because it's open data. So I don't really see that as a concern.
Thank you.
Team ICS 3 + 1 = 4. We welcome now our next team, the Otter Overlords. I'm Kelly, representing Team Otter Overlords, that's in our application, live data for everyone. Okay, but before I get into this, I'd like to introduce somebody. Meet Grandma Sydney. So this is my grandma. She's a citizen of Hawaii, just like us. However, she's notoriously bad with technology. She is so bad at technology computers, it is rough to get her to do anything, right? So what I had her do is try to use the existing Y opened up to see if she can navigate it. So here's how it went. So she wanted to learn about something about health. So she types it and sees the current search right here, as you can see. And for some reason, she was really interested in this tab that she thought. I don't know why it's but so she clicks on it, and this is the page that brings her to. Now, at this point, she doesn't even know what any of this is. She's not familiar with file types or anything. Her data literacy is not very big. So I actually have to get her to click on the CSV file just to make sure that she can even see it, right? And even when she does click it, this is what she sees. It's definitely a data table of death rates, but she doesn't really understand anything about this. So she didn't learn anything from the current portal. She even needed help from me in order to figure out how you can see the table, right? So if someone like her could navigate a data portal, then perhaps anybody can navigate it, right? So I'd like to introduce, let's see. This is what our portal looks like. I mean, it's what it looks like. I think it's better. Yeah. So this is what our portal looks like. I have all the data sets up front with a search feature. So let's pretend I'm Grandma Sydney. Sydney and I want to. I want to find a depth thing, so I'm going to go back to that depth. Depth rate database. Here it is. So by simply clicking on it, just like this, it brings her to a data table right away. No need to learn about any file types, and I can see everything here. But I still can't really understand what this data means, which is what brings us to our 3 innovations that make our app different from the rest. So data visualization. This is a difficult thing because data sets are so different from each other, right? So our app uses AI in order to read the data set to decide how to display it. And it also knows when not to visualize data sets. But, so if we go to our charts tab over here, this is a data set that can be charted, as you can see. Now, if my grandma were to click this, It's very easy to see that throughout the years, the death rates for Hawaii have decreased, which is a very good thing, right? She can understand what this data set means. Let's see. Another thing that our app does great is our chatbot suggestions now. So since chatbots can be confusing for citizens who never talked to one before, we fix this by providing sample questions so that anybody can learn how to use the chatbot. So if we go to our chatbot here, not only is it a chatbot into our browser, it also suggests some questions like, what was the death rate trend? What year had the lowest death rate? Did the death rate decrease? So I can add, and I can click these to ask questions like this, which year had the lowest death rate? And it was 1945. Very easy, even my grandma can understand it. Let's take a look at another data set. Perhaps you want us to learn about hospitals, right? So hospitals. Here we go, and hospitals in Hawaii. This is a data set that lists, it's just a list of all other data sets, right? If we go to the chart here, do you think this data set should be charted? No. If we were to attempt to try to chart this, I don't think my grandma would be able to understand or get anything meaningful from a chart. So rather, this is why our chatbot is so nice. She can learn, she can ask questions about this data set, even if it's not something that should be realized. Okay. The questions?
Yeah, I'm curious, so if you had more time, were there any other things you were planning to simplify that user navigation, even further?
So one more thing that we can help simplify the users, of course, is the first 5 data sets. So something that's difficult to show, but once the user has viewed a lot of data sets, we have an AI data set suggestion feature that takes into account the data sets that I've seen in the past in order to suggest even more data sets that would be relevant to what they would like to use, which makes it even easier since they don't even have to search for it anymore. They can just click this suggestion and they can find things that are meaningful to them.
I'm just curious if Grandma Cindy was happy with the end result.
Oh, yeah, she was. She definitely was happy that the death rate has decreased over time.
Thank you.
I'm also proud, Cindy. Next series, we're about the team name, Interstellar.
Hi everyone, we're Team Interstellar, and today we'll be presenting our mobile app, Aloha Birds. So climate change and habitat destruction has wiped out nearly half of the native Hawaiian bird species today. Yet many of us remain unaware of this information. Aloha Birds is an AI game that blends the real world with virtual birds, letting players explore the island and discover every bird species within Oahu. In order to make our project possible, our team used Blender and Unity to develop this game in order to make this an interactive experience. Now, when a player logs into their account, players are able to explore the island and photograph the 3D birds that appear nearby based on players' location. With each snap of a bird, users earn points by successfully taking a picture. The points are then saved into their account with the total score on the top left corner. Now, our birds vary in rarity, affecting their point value. So common birds like the one on the left are worth 20 points, while rare birds like the one on the right spawn less often and are worth 100 points per photo. Now, when a player snaps a picture of the bird, it is automatically saved to their Avidex, where they can take a closer look at the birds that they discovered. Over time, players are encouraged to explore and complete their collection.
Here in the Index, players access more information on the bird's habitat, appearance, and population status. By gamifying education, Aloha Birds raises awareness while creating a connection with nature. Now, time for our demo. So here is the login page where users are able to create a new account or log in with an existing account. Now, when we press play, we have access to the camera and we can see all of our beautiful faces. Now, when you snap a photo of a bird that's right in front of you and you take a picture, all of the birds that you just took a picture should be saved into the Index. So here we could take a closer look to all of the 3D models that we designed based on real birds that live in Hawaii. Now, let's say this bird right here looks pretty interesting and I want to know more information about it. I click on the information icon and I can see the description of the bird, the conservation status, and a real life picture that, so we know what this bird looks like in real life. Now, if we go back to our camera, you can see that we keep track of the player's GPS location using a free plugin called Native GPS that's available free in the Unity store. Now, with our app, Aloha Birds, we hope to teach our community about preserving and appreciating the unique wildlife on this island, one flap at a time. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Same question that the other group had around like anything, any insights on retaining user engagement after the first year?
So for user engagement, we actually thought so they accumulate points over time. So we are thinking of turning it into tokens where users can actually basically buy stuff. So maybe power-ups or how we actually thought if we had more time, basically create a kind of pet that we can have. So maybe if you collect so many points over time, you can get this really rare pet and show it off to your friends and basically motivate the community to be part of our app.
I'm curious to see how many new birds you have on for this project.
So far we actually designed 12 birds. So we actually used the free 3D model asset that was on the Unity asset store, but we kind of painted it ourselves to match or closely match with the real life birds. And so far with the time we have, we only got to 12. But in the future, we kind of hope that we can expand more and get more species on our app.
You've described a couple of native Hawaiian birds, and so I'm just kind of curious if you can comment on the technology being able to identify Hawaiian birds versus, pigeons, for example.
So I guess a lot of the Hawaiian birds and with the pigeons, it was all from the data set that we were given. So we don't really have anything to identify it. But we are able to basically just differentiate it if it's say it's native or not native on the data set.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Native birds, that was the team Interstellar. We have just 3 more teams to go, and we'd like to welcome down the next team called Dark Mode. They will be starting at the Falcon Park and NPD.
Everyone, my name is Micah from Team Darkhold, and today I'll showcase my solution to the Hawaii HACC Museum energy display. It's a real-time interactive system that responds to devices being turned on and off. Let's take a look at the display. As you can see, the island sinks and water turns dull based on the number of watts used. The goal is for the children to turn off all of the devices to restore the island. In the bottom right, we have a statistics panel showing power devices, current energy usage, total watt hours and kilowatt hours, cost analysis, including projected savings. I created this using Unity. Here's the device registration tab. I can create and control simulated devices over Wi-Fi from anywhere. Devices and switches are unlinked when created, so it's very versatile. I can link them together in the registration form as well. Let's take a look at how I built these devices. So first, I modeled the devices in Onshape, which is a free online CAD software. I sliced the model for 3D printing, and then after 12 hours, I finally had my first prototype. I then programmed and wired the ESP32 microcontroller to a cheap light switch. And you can see here that the prints weren't perfect, so I had to sand them, I had to fill in the holes, sand again, and then put a layer of primer and paint. So I didn't have time to recreate the entire 3D print, so I had to come up with different solutions. And here's the final result. So now let's take a look at the chatbot. It answers questions about electricity in the context of Hawaii, and there's also a KK mode for child-friendly responses. And there's an Easter egg. So if I say, if I ask for a joke, it'll say, what do you call a blind deer in Hawaii? No idea. Okay, we got some math. And then after that, it will only respond in Hawaiian Pidgin, which I think is pretty funny. And if we have time, I'll try to say it in Pidgin, even though my Pidgin isn't great. Now let's look at the tech stack. The stack is quite comprehensive. One important detail is that everything's encrypted and the IoT devices are authenticated. I am self-hosting this on my own server, which required setting up the entire chain. So the Cloudflare proxy, the Caddy reverse proxy, hosting the MQTT server, the Postgres database, and also handling the SSL certificates. So I can talk about that later. Now let's move to the demo. So this is the device registration tab. I can, I'll say test 1, 2, 3 for the device, or sorry, that's for the switch. I'll do test 1, 2, 3, 4 for the device. So let's submit them. I'll submit this one, and I'll submit the device. So you can see here that these are unnamed and also unlinked, so nothing is sparkling onto the microcontroller, which makes it very expandable for like future production development. I can link the devices together here, so I can say test 1, 2, 3, 4, and also test 1, 2, 3, and I can give this a name. Let's just say vector, and it will say that it uses like 50 watts. So I'll submit this here, and then now it links together the devices. I can click on and off here, so this simulates a microcontroller basically, and I can create like many of these devices here, so I have to create simulated ones. So we'll take a look at the energy display here. And really quick, I also want to showcase that it works from any browser. So I load it up on my iPhone, and I can turn on the stove here from my phone, and it shows up on top of the display. I can turn that off. And a neat thing also is if I turn on the light, well, hopefully the demo gods favor with me. It turns off my controller as well. And since it's all Wi-Fi powered, this is basically, I can have that switch on across the island, across the world, and everything is updated in real time. So that's pretty much it. Actually, sorry, really quick chat. So I think I have some time. I heard Christine ask about Hello Hawaii, so I'm studying Hello Hawaii right now. We'll try to ask a question in that as well. Let's try Yama Mila, which is okay, time, but we'll see if it works. Thank you so much. So before we go to questions, I really want to let's see if I can make this simple screen. I don't waste time. So if you guys can take out your mobile devices, make sure you're on the cellular network and not connected to the English network because it blocks some of the WebSocket connections. You can stress test it. So I want you guys to spam it and we'll see if it holds up. So thank you. Oh. So there are some ideas that I want to implement with specifically these devices. With the technology, I pretty much got everything done on my list. But right now we only have a switch, like a light switch, but obviously there are different types of switches. You know, there's power cords for gaming laptops or outlets. Here's one of the problems that I face. So I try to create a switch that it like connects to an outlet, right? But I see somebody turning them on and off right now. I try to create an outlet where you unplug it and then it would show up on the display. But you guys see what the problem is with that, right? Mom, I'm gonna crawl behind the stove and unplug it to save electricity, right? So that was a problem that like, this is for children, right? So I think light switches are the best now.
I'm curious where you think, kind of the biggest hurdles were that you had to overcome to get to this.
Yeah, so I have the tech stack here, so you guys can look at it and ask the questions. Nothing to know is that everything is secure over HTTPS and feel like it's itself. And one of the main problems is a very like tricky problem is that my home server, I had to generate some like SSL certificates, so I tried a self-sign certificate, but then my browser Chrome didn't want to connect to a self-sign server because it's technically kind of insecure and doesn't trust the certificate authority. So I have to use Let's Encrypt to generate an actual trusted like certificate for SSL connections. And I got that working and it took quite a long time. That was one of the more specific challenges that I faced, but in the end, this tech stack really it came together quite nicely.
Another quick question on, with that being a display that children will interact with for learning, I love the implementation of the physical aspects for them to actually interact with. What's the backup if those fail? And I'm not going with the virtual and reliable.
So if you're talking about like if the server goes down, like
Or like whether it is fault.
oh well, yeah, so that's actually one thing that I had questions about as well. These devices are easily like created because the source code doesn't change. It's nothing is hard coded. The links are all dynamic on the website. So if one breaks, you just replace it and then you link it back together on the website.
Thank you very much.
We have just two more teams to go. We'd like to call now Team Kilowatt to do their presentation on energy usage.
Complete a visualizer, energy visualizer, furniture, their upcoming playhouse where kids can physically turn on and off switches, and see how much energy is being consumed for each of those devices or appliances in a typical household. Now, this is just a preview before the demo, but I think it's really important to signify the greatest challenge when designing something for kids and how can we keep our kids engaged. And what better way to do that is to make it like a game. So this is Kilowatt Island Stern. This is an Arduino compatible full stack web application using 3D models and animations. And the concept of the game is simple. Keep the island afloat. So kids can physically turn on and off these appliances, but they need to be careful not to use too much energy beyond the maximum capacity for the day or their island will sink. And the only way to save the island is to turn the appliances off. And this is important because it teaches kids about energy, power, electricity, but also the effects that overconsumption can have on our environment, hence the sinking island. So I'm going to go ahead and do the demo portion. Website can interact with the model. Although this is meant to be on a display, it is there. You would need to log in order to access the application. There's also an about page. That just talks about the project and what it does. So let's go ahead and log in. but we'll work with it. So this is a basic interface. These are the 8 appliances, that's used. Each of them have their own, energy meter that'll show the amount of energy that's being consumed per second. There's also a cumulative energy meter that's based off of all of these 8 appliances, and we also have some music, so let's turn that on for the full experience. And let's go ahead and turn some appliances on. So I will take, I'll let you both while watch that one. Yes.
I love how you made this so TV friendly and really gamifying it. I'm curious, kind of the same question's been asked a couple of times is if you had a little more time, where do you think you would have taken this to next?
Yeah, so I was initially in a team, but unfortunately due to their schedules, I couldn't commit. So it's kind of difficult having to navigate and create this piece together. Obviously it's not perfect, but something that was in mind was we would have a mascot or a flying bird talking, giving facts or information, or have the community be able to ask the bird questions verbally and get an output from that. That would be kind of cool. So that's pretty long. So we can get the island of the boat in.
Here's our island here.
Thank you very much.
Lastly, let's please welcome our final team of the day, Watt Patrol, in the same challenge of energy usage.
We have to do a lot of white community energy. I'm just a team captain and we got that one with the family and. So, as always, requirement challenge for last time, our challenge was to create a display that shows them to be used by their devices. We should have numbers or charts that increase proportionally, when each device is turned on. And the aim for it to be an educational tool, for people to learn about the energy usage within the household. So our solution is a display that shows various, energy usage on various appliances. We have numbers that increase proportionally when each appliance is turned on, and it's educational because we show solar panel and how that can lessen the burden on the energy grid and how to reduce reduce costs for a household. We show, how time of day can change how much electricity can cost. And we also have a little, simple simulation of how energy flows from electrical grid to a house. And also we have to give fun facts, the energy related fun facts and tips. So for, the design, we had some inspiration with a dollhouse, with a cross-sectional view, and in terms of originality, it combines the multiple components of the energy meter and showing the flow of energy, and the ignite slide, and how that can affect the cost. And combine these, components and having these things work together, a cohesive and constructive experience will make our solution a little bit innovative and our user impact display is very simple and user friendly. Each interactable component is ordered with a back outline to make it look down a little bit more. And when each impact is turned on, it'll show a bit of a glow. And this display can work as a standalone for applications that they can use at home on a touchscreen or computer device. There's a lot of educational value with this display because not only does it show like energy usage, but it can give the facts and tips and encourage KP to have good habits in terms of reducing energy. And as such, I'm confident that this will have a positive impact on KP and the community. So audio cue as well. Yes, that's so that's the kind of cost. So I don't know if you get the rate. So the rate when it's evening or the peak is like 62 cents per kilowatt hour. And then if you go to night, that will decrease and then the cost. But the fact that the rate peak energy is during like the daytime. So that's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if you want to like do about like energy cost, the appliances like 20 the time. But by turn it off. So right, and I think that will wait one more thing. We can turn on everything.
Fine.
Pretty clever. If you had more time, what are some things that you might do?
I just thought that if you consider in the having the little light bulb be like more attractive, like kids ask questions and so they verbally research on that. That's on pretty cool. And it is but having a little bit more like fun facts and that's really that. Maybe this part a little bit more. I first of all, the little friend of church, the kids like that stuff and that just for the island. But making the art a little bit more dynamic and then I don't think to understand, but adding the cost breakdown a little bit will be helpful for the guardians who also see the display.
I wasn't a question, it was to thank you for helping my children understand. Appreciate it.
Well, let's give everyone. You will now be dismissed to the judges' room, in which you will tabulate the scores and determine our winners. So you may be excused. As you can finish up your scores here, and then we will dismiss you to the judges' room. But at this time, we also want to have you vote for the People's Choice poll. So if you have a smartphone or a device, simply look up that URL. 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to cast your vote for the People's Choice poll. After this, we will be going into our lunch break. But we want you all to go ahead and take 5 minutes to fill out the People's Choice poll. To access the poll. If not, we do have our team members. You can ask them for help. I don't know about the island. Is that like this for they have to pass. As you folks continue to fill out the People's Choice poll, we will go ahead and release you for lunch. Before you get up, we'd like to ask that you aim to start making your way back to your seats by 1:05. Our program, our award ceremony will begin at 1:10. So once again, please start making your way back in here at 1:05. We will begin the awards at 1:10 p.m. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our team for coordinating our lunch here today. Well, I believe the 3 minutes have already voted. You may excuse myself from lunch, and that gives you will head over to the judge's room. I will see you all back here at 1:05.